Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to what will hopefully be the finale of our beautiful Kart Racer project. If you have not tuned into previous streams, my name is Jillian Qualley. I am the learning content producer for Endless Studios. I make content that helps you learn, as the name would imply. No, but for real, I have really enjoyed doing these streams showing off this little kart racer project that we are hopefully going to be concluding today. I will show my final track, play through it a little bit, make sure everything is functional, and just take any last minute questions you guys might have about the project. I hope this whole experience was a good way to introduce you all to Unity. I know that it's kind of a daunting tool at first, and even to me who's used it for years, it's still daunting. And sometimes things don't go according to plan, but that's okay. That's the entire reason why we're doing this. Just want to show off a few basic tools in Unity, get you acquainted with the UI, and make sure that you know what you're doing if you want to mod a game like this. And I think it's been a lot of fun to show that off. I've really, really been enjoying it. So thank you all for that. Those of you who have tuned in and asked questions and everything, I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I think we're ready to jump into Unity now. I did do a few things off camera. Um, I will show you those once we are like moving around the track. But in general, I'm quite happy with where my project is at right now. I'm very happy with the general theme I went with, the visual effects of it, and the objects I placed around. I'm hoping things work according to plan, because as we will soon see, I did put some objects in the road, and even though they mostly all have a very small hitbox, the AI is a bit dumb and doesn't know what to do all the time when encountering a hitbox. So we're just gonna see how that goes. So let's get into Unity. Let's get into our racer, our beautiful racer that we've been working so tirelessly on. Um, so I'm just going to do a general review of the things that we changed from the original, and then we'll play it and we'll see how we do and how all that goes. So the first thing I did, the first thing you should do if you want to mod the game and make your own level is make a new scene. And all you really have to do is go to File, Save As, and it'll save a copy of the scene that you were working in. So we were working in the, oh, what was it called? The desert level? Yeah, we started with the desert level in the racer, and I just made a copy of it by saving as, and then we've been working in essentially a blank slate. Kind of. It was identical to the desert level. So next thing that I recommend you do, and again, if you need to know how to do all this, you can tune into previous streams. They should be on YouTube at this point. But next thing I did is delete all the terrain and geometry that were making the level look the way it did, because we wanted to work with essentially a blank slate, make it so that we can do whatever we want with the track and not have it interfere with anything. Because the environment, the geometry of things like the desert level really didn't lend well to messing with the track, and that's part of what we were doing here, was messing with the track. So the first thing I actually did, but the next thing I recommend you do if you want to do this in an order that makes sense, is change the racers. I pretty much did this just by downloading things off of a website called Turbo Squid. I got these two like textureless car models here. And you just select the racer that you want to change. In this case, we changed the light and I think the medium racer for the AI. You can also do this to the player AI or the player character. All you do is select them, turn the old model off in the visual roots folder, and then replace it with a new model that goes in the same position as the previous model, usually at 000, depending on the model. You may have to adjust it a little bit to make it look like it's on the road. You may have to scale it a little bit weirdly. Point is, it's a very simple process to change the player characters. And if you guys want a refresher on that, you can check out my other videos or streams. So yeah, we did that, and then we edited the track using the track editing system, which is found in, let me see, not terrain, not racers, race manager here. So I just went into race manager, went into this track thing here, selected the first option, make it go down, and then as you can see, we have all these nodes that we can use to adjust the track as necessary. Our track is still very slightly bumpy in some areas just because the game's physics are a little wonky with how I've done my track, like very kind of angled and strangely, lots of humps and hills, as you can probably see by all that. Um, we're just gonna make sure that's all unselected so we don't mess with anything. But yeah, I'm happy with my track. You really just click and drag various nodes to move the track around, smooth it out as much as you want or don't want. Up to you, honestly. And yeah, so that was the track. And so then we made some terrain. We drew this terrain all around the track. I didn't put anything in the middle here. I was trying to see if I wanted to put like buildings or something in the middle of the whole piece of terrain here just to make it feel more full. But I didn't really like how that was looking when I did it off camera, so I decided to not do that. I like the idea of just this empty backroads valley kind of thing. That's sort of what I was going for from the start with the theme. But yeah, so um next up we painted some trees, we just did some terrain smoothing in general to make sure the game runs well. Which I haven't done a build of it yet, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to do a build of it in the stream, simply because building a game takes a long time, and it's going to be kind of tricky to share it on screen and everything. So let's just assume that I'm going to do a build of this at the end of everything. Like after the stream is over, I'll do a build of it and see how it runs, and then I might update you guys a little bit as time goes on. And also, I want to mention, if you guys want to share your kart racers with me, I would absolutely love to see them. I don't really know how we'll make it work, but I'm confident that if you've been working hard on a kart racer, that I want to acknowledge it. I want to see it, and I want to see what you guys have been up to with it. So we'll figure something out with that. I think it would be very fun to see how people have come along with these tutorials and everything. So, getting back on track, so to speak, because we have a track here. Get it? Yeah. So I also off camera placed a bunch of groups of rocks around here, and I textured them using the default boulder texture that comes with the game. To texture things, you really just have to click and drag the texture from your assets menu to the object. Very, very easy to do. So I placed a few groups of like 2 or 3 rocks all around the track just to see how it's gonna react or how it'll look. I tried to space them out enough to where the AI won't get too stuck on them, and because their hitboxes are very small, I don't think they will. But I don't know for sure. So again, that's where playtesting comes in. We have been playtesting this track the entire time we've been playing with it, obviously, because that is a very important part of game design, obviously, is playtesting, making sure things are somewhat functional. You know, things won't be perfect, and by far this track isn't perfect, but I'm still very happy with it. I'm very proud of it. I also placed some of these little like house hut things around just the edges of the track just to add a little bit of visual intrigue. I don't know how quickly these guys will like render when we're actually playing the game. We have to test that because I just added them. But I think they add, again, a little bit of visual interest, a little bit of character to the track. We've got this huge boulder right before the finish line. And that's pretty much where the kart racer's at. So I think if you guys are ready, I'm just gonna play it and we're gonna see how it works. And if we need to do any final touches, I will. But yeah, let's just go and play it. Let's see how this goes. I'm probably not gonna do more than a lap because there's no real reason to. I just need to play test the lap, make sure everything is functional. All right, here we go. Racing off. Got a nice power up right there. The items are now also moved back in place now that we've changed the track, which is very good because we definitely didn't want to just leave the items floating in midair where we couldn't get them. So I'm gonna speed ahead here, avoid those rocks, avoid these rocks, hopefully. There we go. It looks like the AI is keeping up with us pretty well. They're avoiding the rocks pretty easily, and you know, they don't have a big hitbox, so even if they got stuck on them, it probably wouldn't be that bad. I did not mean to use that item. Oh well. Yeah, so they seem to be smart enough to be avoiding it well, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want them to be just completely stuck. Oh, we have some trees there we need to fix. That's okay. Getting a little bit of bumpiness on the track, but that's okay. It's nothing crazy. Let's just keep racing around. Almost done. We have that big boulder coming up at some point here, and hopefully the AI doesn't get stuck on that either, but we'll see. Yeah, so things are kind of appearing and reappearing visually. Oh, that guy got stuck, but it looks like he got out, thank God. So it seems like we really don't have to make any significant changes, which is awesome. I'm really, like I said, very proud of this track, even though it doesn't look like much. And honestly, this is like not a huge project. I am very happy with how it's looking. Like I was saying though, you did see some things kind of filtering in and out of our view. They were kind of rendering and then not rendering. That is fairly normal, just with the settings I have on Uni and with my computer. It's not all gonna render perfectly. But it's honestly okay. I don't really mind that. It's not that big a deal in my opinion, so we're just gonna leave it. And yeah, so let me just take one more look around, see if there's anything else I want to change. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Nice, cozy morning for me. Just, you know, messing around in Unity. It really it is really a comfort for me to just be able to randomly do things in this program and do the things I love in it. And I hope you guys feel the same way. So here is where the trees are kind of clipping through. Let's select the terrain. Let's go to paint trees and then lower the brush quite a bit so that we aren't deleting any trees that we don't have to. And we have to select the tree, of course. And then let's just get rid of a few trees around here. And it's kind of hard to get to those right there. Let me move the camera a little bit. Control click. Control click. Okay, that should be much better. So yeah, we have minimal clipping. We have, oh, ooh, what did I just press? Oh, I see. All right, that's fine. We are just gonna get back to where we were at if we can. Let's go select the boulder. There we go. Anyway, so that is really about all I have for you guys. If you guys are satisfied with this and satisfied with your own projects, which I hope you are, there we go, that fixed it. I hope you guys are enjoying messing around with this kart racer and just in Uni in general. I think it's super fun to make progress in it. I think it's super fun to make a vision come to life, of course, but that can be said for any engine and any game you may develop. I really think that there is a lot of value in learning free tools like Unity and trying to make things happen in them, because you can learn a lot in a very short amount of time, which we, in my opinion, kind of have. The past few streams over the past few weeks that I've done, I think we've accomplished a lot. And I think we've made a really cool looking level in general. So if you guys are happy with it, I'm happy with it. Are there any last minute questions, comments, concerns? I know I didn't cover literally everything you can do in Uni, but that's just kind of an impossible task. There is so much that you can do with it, and I'm not familiar with every single bit of this tool, but I am familiar enough with it to where we made a really cool track, and I think that's worth saying something. So, yeah, are there any last minute questions or comments? Like I said, I would love to see maybe screenshots of your guys' tracks in the Discord if you want to take a screenshot or like a video using OBS or something of your track. I'd love for you to send them to me and just see what you've done, ask questions about how you want to improve it. I'm open to all of that, and I really am excited to see that kind of thing. So, last call for um, any sort of questions right now that I will hopefully be able to answer, either about Uni or the Kart Racer, or even just about me. You know, like I've been guiding you guys through this whole process. So, anything you want to ask, feel free right now. So I'm not seeing a lot of questions, but I am just kind of musing to myself over if there was anything else I would add to this track or change or edit on it if I had more time and more generally more knowledge on how to do things. I really wish I had been able to get some custom assets into the game, but like I said, legacy assets that you download off the asset store, and also sometimes like your sign in doesn't always translate well. So I wasn't able to get any custom assets made by lovely folks that have been developing for Unity for years, either through art or whatever. I wasn't able to get any of that in. I would probably add maybe a different skybox. I know I've been saying I love the skybox because I do, but if I could get like a cool custom skybox in, I probably would. But I did show you guys how to get a skybox going. It's all based in the camera. Um, I would probably just add more like custom assets that people make, things that better fit the theme. So like maybe variation of trees and fun things like that, because all the tools work the exact same even if you're using assets that you downloaded. So, yeah, I'd probably just add maybe a little bit more character, a little bit more variety, and the scenery. I would definitely be like painting the terrain a little bit differently, just because like it all being this green grass is like fine, it works, but I would try to add a little bit more detail. The good news is there are plenty of tutorials on that kind of thing on YouTube already. You can find quite a few tutorials on how you can really get into working with the terrain and painting it and smoothing it out and making it all look perfect. So if you guys are interested in that, I would recommend you go do that. I'd probably add some more geometry as well, like there was in the desert level. They had like massive like ridges and stuff. And so I would definitely be interested in doing something like that, but I'm just not a gifted enough artist in this program or even in Blender to pull anything like that off. So I do encourage you guys to do pretty much whatever you want with it. My main stretch goal, I would say, if I had more time and more knowledge in C Sharp, is I would program a new item if I could. I don't know exactly what I would do because I already like the items that are in the game. The power up for shooting the missile, the oil slick, and then the general speed up. I think those are all you really need for a competitive racer like Mario Kart or whatever. So I don't know what kind of item I would add. I've seen people add like kind of teleportation sort of items where like you speed up and then it generates like a special particle effect and you're in further in the race. I've seen people add like different types of weapons, not just the little shooty guy that comes out of your car whenever you pick up that power up. I've seen a lot of cool things with it. That just requires a lot more scripting that I'm not necessarily going to be covering here. This was a very not coding oriented project, I think. But that can be my challenge to you guys at this point, is to maybe program a power-up, maybe change the look of one of the power-ups that are already in the game. It's completely up to you, but like I said, I think the power-ups are already very balanced and very functional. So I don't really see the point in adding a power-up. Plus, that's a lot of scripting, a surprising amount of scripting that we just don't have time for, honestly. But yeah, in general, like I've been saying, I'm very happy with this. Obviously, no project is truly over. It is simply abandoned or considered like finished. That's not really ever true. Projects just get dropped after a certain amount of time. So unfortunately, we won't really be able to do much more with this other than this, which is fine because, like I said, I'm very happy with it. So, like I've been asking, are there any more questions? Are there any concerns, things that you guys want to see last minute, anything like that? And if not, then I will end things off. So I am getting a question asking how you import 3D objects into Unity. It's really the same process that we used for getting the cars in Turbo Squid. You just go up to Assets here, and then Import New Asset. Now, if you made a 3D object, or if you're downloading a 3D object from the internet, make sure that it is a .fbx or a .obj. And as long as they're in that file format, you should be able to import them into your game the same way that you imported anything from the internet. And then you can do whatever you want with it in Unity. You can put a collider on it. You can change its like texture and everything. If you're using a program like Blender, at least, that should be the same sort of process that we used when we just imported these cars off the internet. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. And if it doesn't work, there are, like I said, many tutorials as well on how to get like your custom assets from Blender into Unity. It's a fairly intuitive process. Anything else? Okay, well, Um, I just want to give a huge shout out to you guys that have been doing this whole program, and especially playing with this Kart Racer. I know, like I said, Unity is incredibly daunting at first, and it can not always work how you want it to. But I think we did a great job working on this whole thing together. I've been appreciative of all your questions and comments, and I definitely want to see racers in Discord. So write me a DM or just put them in the Kart Racer thing and the channel, and we can all just enjoy what we've created together. So yeah, huge shout out to you guys. Huge thank you as well to tuning in for this and just being responsive, being excited to work in this tool. I think it's been really great, and that's why I do what I do. I love to get people into game design, and I really, really love to just be creative, as creative as I want to be with a tool like this, making something that was already kind of set up for us and making it my own. I love that kind of thing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning into this. If you need to refer to this ever again, the streams are on YouTube, so uh, we can make those as available as you need so that you can watch these back and make sure that you know what you're doing with this kart racer. So yeah, just huge thank you to you guys. Thank you for tuning in and dealing with the ups and the downs of this process, because yeah, Uni likes to mess with me sometimes, but that's okay. I'm used to it. So yeah, thanks guys, and I will hopefully be seeing you guys another time. So thank you, and see you later.